Well, it is time for the minor league teams to open their season here in season 22 of the Simulation Soccer League. And just like with the majors, we have two minors teams that will be joining us for this season going forward. Unfortunately, neither of them are in action today. They'll be showing up in part 2 of today's match day. But in the meantime, we've got some excellent matches for you to kick off this season. Hello, everyone. I'm Metafiction, and I am joined by Aegis.
What's going on, everybody? I was just looking at the games that are going on tomorrow. But yeah, today it's just all old guard for sure. The games tomorrow, if my SSL portal wants to load. We've got those two new expansion teams. Lowest website ever. Here we go. Panjaka is playing tomorrow against Paris, and then Mask Saclay is playing against Seoul, and then Krumthep Kapstadt tomorrow as well.
Should be exciting, all of those. And honestly, it's the same thing that I was talking about with the majors. It's always exciting to see these new brandings join the league. And it also, for the players, marks some really interesting away days. We're talking in the minors, two trips to Africa in particular, Cote d'Ivoire in the case of Mask Sacré, and then Antananarivo, Madagascar in the case of Mpanyaka.
I wonder how many airports Madagascar has. Surely it's not more than like 4. Anyways, as we get ready for this game, looks like we're going to see two very different formations just from what I saw right off the bat. I saw a wide 5-2-3, which is very similar to a tactic I'm well known to, and then Magyar, who always seems to be pulling some strange formations out, but they always seem to somewhat work. It kind of looked like a narrow 4-4-2 diamond sort of offset thing.
It looks like
1-1-2.
Oh. It looks to me like a 4-4-2 diamond, except one of the side midfielders dropping in alongside that holding midfielder there. As that corner headed up into the air, Muller can't bring it in, does get the header, but heads it over. But it looks like it is an attempt to sort of shore up that defensive midfield. There you see in the bottom right, Van Grimbergen dropping in beside Doug the second.
But as a volante, so that means they will be at least quite advanced. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him somewhat alongside Martin there as a carrilero, which is a not very seen position in Football Manager. But I appreciate it. It's something different. Anyways, here comes Power down the byline, firing across. But actually, you know what? I think that was a shot, and poor one at that.
Certainly tactical innovation, as always, from Magyar. Fun fact, I actually found out today, Magyar, of course, the Hungarians use Magyar to refer themselves to their country, etc., but it's apparently derived from the Proto-Ugric word for man or person. So the English equivalent would be a culture referring to themselves as the people, which is kind of fascinating, honestly.
Seems a bit egotistical, if you ask me.
I mean,
we're the people, they're something else.
Well, in fairness, given what little I know about Hungarian history, I mean, they did sort of have to form that communal identity, but admittedly, I'm not too much of an expert on it. The only thing I know about Hungary is from playing Crusader Kings 3, so I don't want to talk too much on the subject.
They had Puskás and Szoboszlai.
So. That's true. I don't think either of them are playable in Crusader Kings 3, though.
What? Nah. I was going to say, they also had, this is some elite ball knowledge, but during the last Euros, there was a player called Martin Adam, I believe, and he got subbed on, and he was just an absolute unit, and he kind of became a bit of a meme, because he was like 6 foot, I don't know, 5, maybe like 260 pounds. He looked like a bear. It was kind of cool.
Well, in the meantime, we have reached halftime, and neither team has recorded a shot on target yet. Montreal United and Rapid Magyar still knotted up at 0-0 going into the break.
Yeah, honestly, quite a slow game. Low XG from both sides seem to be canceling each other out pretty well. Looking at the average positions, it's pretty even split. So I guess these formations sort of are balancing each other out, I guess, or canceling each other out, rather.
I'd agree with that assessment. If either team has an edge, it probably would be Montreal United based on the current statistics. Still 45 minutes for either side to find a breakthrough, though.
Mm-hmm. I think, yeah, it's still a pretty open game. I wonder if they can just get it to the strikers, get a few good chances, or a team wins a penalty, then I think that might be a deciding factor here. Remarkable lack of highlights, if I'm being honest. It feels like it's gone really fast.
Worth noting, you saw there briefly in the average positions, it looks as though Montreal playing significantly wider than Rapid, which we did sort of predict. As here is Albinson, but Stinnison back to Stamp.
Oh, that was a great chance. Should have shot first time there.
But as you sort of predicted, I believe, Aegis, Magyar playing significantly more narrow than Montreal, but it's not really paid off for them.
Well, look at the possession. They've had a little bit better, I think, but I think the benefit of playing a formation like a 4-diamond-2 narrow, where you don't have attacking wide players, is that first off, you give more leeway to your fullbacks to get up. You don't have to worry about a second body there. First off, great save by Asprey, absolute legend. I miss him. Shout out Asprey. But no, when you don't have any wide attacking players, you just get a massive overload in central midfield, which means that generally speaking, you're more of a defensive presence there, and you force the opposing team to go around you and play in crosses, which Montreal might struggle with, seeing as they only have one striker, and he's a trequartista, which is, not exactly the most advanced striker. Which I was going to comment on that. What is a sole trequartista striker? I feel like that you don't really see that. Usually he's part of a duo up top.
Well, I guess the thinking might be to bring the inside forwards on either wing a little more into the attack, perhaps.
Maybe, but I don't know, because I feel like usually what a chance. Usually trequartistas sit a little deeper between like attacking midfield and than the actual striker position.
Perhaps that might be one of the reasons that Montreal haven't quite been able to get too many shots on target, despite having fired 16 shots. Only 2, I believe that was, have gone on goal.
This Magyar tactic, I can't lie, I really like it. I think it's odd. And I mean, I've seen a fair share of, frankly, stupid Magyar tactics. I remember in one Seoul game, they pulled up with one center back and then 5 like defensive midfielders / wing backs in front of them, and then 2 center midfielders and 2 strikers. And I was like, this is the dumbest formation. And it held us to a 0-0 draw, just like this. So clearly, whatever form of insanity they have, it seems to work at least a little bit.
Well, as you said, Magyar able to hold Montreal United, a team we know has firepower in this minor division. Magyar holding them to a 0-0, and so that is a point to open the season.
That was very impressive for Magyar, I can't lie.
Grimace, the player,
very impressive
for Montreal. But as you say, a very impressive performance by Magyar on the defensive end.
Yeah, great. Fullbacks did well. Asprey at keeper did great. Made some good saves. Yeah, no, I mean, there's almost no one to critique. Maybe the striker could have taken a shot a little better, but very solid defensive performance from both teams. Kind of reminds me of watching some old school Italian soccer. Or football. They might kill me for that.
I think Italy calls it calcio.
Whatever.
I mean, that's the sort of thing. If I may soapbox for a moment, that's the main reason I get a little snippy when people get elitist about us Americans calling football soccer. I mean, the Italians call it calcio, we call it soccer, and yet we're the ones who are pilloried.
Yeah, we're the wrong ones.
It makes no sense. But that's another rant. I've gone on this rant before.
That was
Wow.
What the hell was that?
Well, some very unorthodox tactics on display here by both Cairo City and Inter London for our second match today.
I
It's
saw
a
the
bold
Cairo one. I was like,
strategy.
oh, it's like a 4-3-3 with wingbacks. That's that's ballsy. And then the Inter London tactics goes up. Those aren't even wingbacks. Those are wide midfielders right behind wingers. Okay, who's going to be inverting over who?
It's a bold strategy. Just let's see if it pays off for him.
I predict 15 goals, but I don't know who's going to be scoring more.
Well, you heard it here first. A goal fest predicted here as London coming forward. Davidovic trying to dribble around Ramos.
Both of these teams did finish quite low last year, if I recall correctly, right? Cairo, I believe, was last, and Inter London was also there and thereabouts.
I would say that's correct.
So it could be in for a bit of a scrappy, very open match. Either that or it'll be the complete opposite and we'll have 0 goals. But based off that first minute alone, I think there might be a bit more in this.
Well, that move was almost beautiful. The long cross into the box by Narvaez. Ramos just couldn't get it on target, but Narvaez with a corner here for Cairo.
It's a lot of bodies in the box for London. Oh my gosh.
And another near miss.
Oh, but here they come again. Beat his man to the byline, but there's going to be another corner.
Well, comes in, and that header, once again, just over, courtesy of the goalkeeper. Narvaez to try once more. Back out to Sinclair. Now Narvaez again. Cross into the box. Ultimus couldn't quite get it off, and it was dispossessed. Well, Ramos coming forward again for Cairo. And O'Neal finally putting an end to that move.
I'm curious how long the highlights for this game are going to be versus the highlights of the other games, because I feel like this one might be the 40-minute game.
Well, time will certainly tell. We have less than 15 minutes played, and here comes London. Bear into the box. Kovac lays it off for Davidovic. And if VAR upholds this, London will have the first goal.
I think Kovacs might have been a bit off before he laid it back to Davidovic. Yeah, just a little bit.
Indeed, it is disallowed. We'll have to look at it here.
Yep, just a slight bit. Got on the wrong side of, is that Slothinson?
I believe so, yes. Kovac.
What's a sloth doing in my son? Sorry, what?
Well, I mean, we have seen stranger animals and animal-adjacent beings on the pitch before.
Remember that one MLS game where there was a raccoon on the field?
Honestly, I'd love to see a raccoon try to play soccer. Yeah, I think you could make a decent winger out of one of them.
I can see it.
They're pacey. They have a good, sense of good awareness about them usually.
They're intelligent too.
You coach them right, that could work.
Winning the ball high up the pitch here comes Cairo. If they can lay it off, that was a good little chance there. Threatening.
Slack Terrace missing just wide on that shot.
One to put to note here, Inter London with not a single no XG to show for yet. I mean, I guess that'll be the first little bit right there, but Cairo seems to have been much more the attacking outfit so far. If you look at the average position too, London really being forced back here.
It could be a product of the tactic, but it could also be simply hunger. We know, as we mentioned, Cairo have been toward the bottom of the table for several seasons now. They'll be hungry to try and turn things around.
I think a win here for either team would be really big. Sort of set expectations for the rest of the season. I'm just trying to figure out what this London team are really doing, because their two wide midfielders are so high up that if they get beaten, there is a massive amount of space between the defensive midfielder, the center back, and the wide players. Perfect for Ramos and Kinderland to run in behind should they stay wide enough. Decent free kick there, by the way.
Another close miss by Slakteris. You have to think Slakteris trying to dial that goal in from distance. I would say though, my thought on the London tactic, it might be a combination of wanting to get players forward and also perhaps personnel. Like it might be a situation where trying to play these London players in their most appropriate positions has sort of created this kind of tactic that feels a little lopsided. If it works, of course, it will be worth it, but for the moment, it is 0-0 going into the half.
I wonder. Oh my gosh! Yeah, look at that. Look at the. I guess not the wingback, the wide midfielder on the right side of London. There, he's literally right on his wingers behind. It leaves a giant hot spot right behind him for Cairo to run into. I think. I don't know. I'm a lover of wacky tactics, but they do have to have some sort of balance, and this London tactic does not look incredibly balanced to me, especially upon further revision too. On the right side, first off, they're in the exact same space right there. They're going to be running into each other, and that's because instead of one being inverted, they're both wide players. One's a winger, and the other's a wide midfielder. At least on the left side, the winger's an inverted winger, or an inside forward. But on the right, they're just going to be tripping over each other.
We'll have to see if that continues to affect them here in the second half. We did see Kenderlin making a bit of a run behind, and there again is Narvaez on the overlap. Into the box, crosses in, but Ramos blocked. And it will be another Cairo corner.
Hopefully they can make one of these count. They've taken a few already, and I haven't seen too much promise yet.
Fizz
I don't think nothing much. Nothing doing.
We've seen so many times set pieces so important in the SSL.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of opportunities come from corners. Ramos here running into some space, finds a good layoff. Kenderlin not only with a poor shot, but also offside, so it's not going to count for anything.
I'll tell you what, though, if Kenderlin had held his run just a bit more and been onside, that was a quality shot at goal.
That was a good opportunity. That's one of the best ones so far. I wonder who's gonna break the deadlock.
For the moment, it's been all Cairo going forward as this corner comes in. Slakteris gets to it on the second go. Sinclair into Kenderlin, and Xavius Kenderlin opens it up.
That was nice. One touch on the turn, bang. Something that we've been talking about. Not a lot of players can do. Just take it in their stride and finish. Obviously, the ball cleared to the edge of the box. Slakteris takes a second. Sinclair gets his head up, finds Kenderlin, and that's a great finish from your winger there. He's going to be happy with that. Now Cairo has something to defend. No, I think he did well.
He's sending it back. Now here's Kane, who has a go, and my goodness, what a shot from Arthur Kane.
I need to see that again. What was that? How far out is that?
We'll have to see here. It was some way out.
Victim. Okay, Kane's on the D. Oh, wow. What a strike.
That had almost 30 yards.
He was at the edge of the D for sure. That's, such a low XG chance, but he managed to tuck it away. And the goalie, perhaps a little surprisingly, didn't get anywhere really near it. Here they come again, though. O'Neal.
Maybe a little bit surprised that O'Neal had taken the shot from that distance.
I think he was a bit fed up, but you know what? He did. He nailed it.
So just like that, with a wonder goal from O'Neal, it's 1-1 again. Cairo coming forward once more, though. The Kenderlin box, and the challenge from Kronkowski breaks it up.
Dumb gun manages to hold it off there. Yeah, look at the shot map. Look at how many Cairo's gotten off versus Inter London. That's ridiculous. I think if Cairo doesn't get another win here, they're going to be very, very frustrated.
Well, that one very nearly went in again. It looked pretty similar to the goal that went in, crashing down off the post. This time, though, bouncing on the other side of the line. Narvaez losing out to O'Neill again, and London coming forward once more, looking to pull ahead. Good challenge there from, well, unfortunately, I can't really pronounce that at the moment, but a good challenge from the defender. At any rate, now Ramos tipped over. Narvaez to deliver the corner. Into the air. Ultimus trying to head it down, but it's rebuffed. Less than 10 minutes to play as Kenderlin brings it forward. Around Poggio, chips it into the air. And once again, London dealing with it.
Weird decision to go for a floated cross there. I thought just a nice little low pass would have been a lot better, but unlucky. Hey, oh my gosh, how many corners has this been? Corner number 15, Jillian for Cairo. Sent into the box.
Off the post.
Ultimus. Unlucky.
Cairo have really had the better of this match, but running out of time to pull ahead.
$84 minutes. Ton of highlights for still being this late into the game. There goes Ramos in his acre of free space. Plays it across, and Kenderlin gets there at the far post. Striker lets it go through. Good finish from Kenderlin to make it 2. And there's the second one that Cairo was so desperately looking for. I mean, look how much space. I mean, he's got acres. Wad does well to try and recover, but he can't do anything. He can't slide in. He's on a yellow. And that's
the trouble with committing so many players forward. They're vulnerable to the counterattack, as we witnessed there.
Because it's not just about recovering to win possession back. You actually have to be in position first. Because if you're running back and you want to dive in to make a stopping tackle, but you're on a yellow already, sometimes you can't risk it, and they just get away from you. But yeah, no, I think London might need to go back to the drawing board just a smidge with this tactic. Cairo, on the other hand, I don't really know what to say about theirs. It's worked, I guess. I don't know if it's been more or less effective because of London's, though. With a decent shot, by the way. But it is carried away well by Rizzo.
Some good goalkeeping by Rizzo, it has to be said. On the rare shots that London have gotten off, except for the one, Rizzo has been equal to it.
Yeah, no, I feel Rizzo's been... Really, I can't discredit either goalkeeper. I think they've been doing fine so far. Made some handy saves so far. The ones that have gone in, though, I mean, they've been either great goals or very hard to block, so can't do too much about those.
Indeed. Plaudits as well for Gunn Jr., as you said. Having faced an absolute barrage of shots, only 2 conceded, though.
Yeah, for sure, I think.
And there's another one for Gunn.
I don't know if that's something to say about the quality of Stun Gun's goalkeeping, or if, that's just the shots haven't been very good. Maybe a little bit of both. Anyways, here comes London, but well cut out by Sinclair from Cairo. Looking to see if they can break on the counter. Ramos making some runs. Cross comes in. Deflection, and it is going to be Slakteris to pick it up on the little deflection. I think it came off the post or something. It bounced to him. Stun Gun was out of his position. Junior, of course. And Cairo does make it 3 at the death.
Well, we take another look at it here. Narvaez tried to put the cross, and it got deflected to Gunn. Gunn pushes it away, but it falls right into the path of Slakteris. And Gunn just can't get up in time to block the rebound shot.
Yeah, it's an unlucky deflection from Stun Gun Jr. I think he pushed it onto his own post and then somehow it bounced back across the field. That's really unlucky. Cairo is showing that they might still have one more in them. Kenderlin is onside. Can he find Ramos in space? Ramos, he just hesitated, but still alive. And never mind, unfortunately, the header, no one can get to the end of it, and it is going to be London ball. And that should be game, set, match here shortly.
And indeed, the final whistle does go here at the Tomb of Doom, and Cairo City opening the season with a 3-1 win over Inter London.
I've never heard that. That's like Tomb of Doom.
that is the official name of the stadium.
That's awesome. But yeah, no, good game. It really came alive at the end. When it was literally 0-0 at the end of the first half, I thought, surely this isn't it, right? I'm glad you've been proven wrong.
Strong performance from Cairo. A lot of shots gotten away. Meanwhile, Inter London, some good goalkeeping from Gunn, I would say, and that wonder goal from Arthur Kane, but apart from that, could have been a lot better for the team from London.
I bet they'll be talking about it. I think maybe this tactic wasn't what they meant to play, or it was a holdover, and I don't know. I think next week we'll expect to see them with something a little bit more typical.
Certainly
or maybe as I say that, they'll make something even more heinous. Who knows?
Well, there's certainly a lot of soccer yet to be played. London will be working on that tactic throughout the season. But now we go on to our final match of the day, Athenai hosting North Shore United.
Oh, this is going to be a fun one. What the? North Shore? A 4-2-2-2, technically. Some weird offset shenanigans going on. I didn't see Athenai's, though. What was Athenai's formation looking like?
Well, I believe they were running a 3 at the back. We saw, once we can see it a little more clearly, I can give you a better picture, but 3 at the back, I believe 1 holding midfielder and, of course, wingback. Well, there you go. Not quite a holding midfielder.
That was a quarter of a second. I didn't get to see it.
Would be, I believe it's 3 at the back, 2 wingbacks, and then a central midfielder. That's 6, and by extension, I suppose it's 3 attacking midfielders and a striker.
Interesting.
A clean challenge.
Sorry.
Apologies. Clean tackle by Budo there in the box. Had to be perfect to avoid giving up the penalty. Now the cross goes in, and that was almost a beautiful goal for Athenai.
No, well done there. Unlucky from Steele, but it was very well played. Here comes Athenai playing back to their goalkeeper, Satoshi. Playing the long ball up, trying to find Santori, but unfortunately going to be picked away. Little change of possession. Does end up at Santori. The little man in the corner. Finds a cross to the edge of the box. Oh, I think it took a deflection there.
Looked like it was Zoldyck who blocked that behind. And so Athenai putting the corner in, far post, but it's rebuffed, although Steele does get back to it. Some disciplined passing here as Kulishov puts it in. It looked like it deflected off of Santori, but Chicken was able to get that stopped. And that shot skids in by Roy Rivers.
There it is. Oh, that was nice. Debut goal, it said, apparently. Let's see this. Papapoulos from the corner. Floated out. Headed away. Oh, that's a great finish. Kept it low and firm. Far corner. Love that.
A strong grass cutter there from Roy Rivers, and that puts Athenai up 1-0 on North Shore United. And Exarchea is rocking.
I think North Shore is really going to want to hit back here and hit back quickly, as I almost did. Well saved by Satoshi, but we know North Shore's quality time and time again, even with their interesting formation. Also, yeah, that Athenai formation is bizarre. 5-1-3-1. But, you know, if it works, I will not slander it.
I will say it's not terribly different from a formation I've had some success with in one of my own FM saves. So I can only say so much about it.
I'm just typically a firm believer in having defensive midfielders. I feel insecure without them. Even if they're very attacking defensive midfielders, just having someone in front of my defensive line. If I've got center backs and then the closest thing in front of them I've got are central midfielders, I feel unprotected, you know?
Well, you'll never hear me disparage holding midfielders, and one nearly just scored there for North Shore. Gaisberg going wide.
Yeah, that was pretty well done. Here come Athenai with a massive overload in the North Shore half, finding a low cross in, and it is going to drift to Santori, completely unmarked at the far post for probably one of the easiest goals of his life. Very well played there by Athenai. Let's see here. I'm watching.
Let's take another
Santori.
look at it.
Cross comes in, skips past everyone, and he's got acres of space and time to get a shot off.
Special mention to Rivers, the goal scorer, with the dummy run to distract Rashford the fourth when the pass went all the way out to Santori. Some great awareness there by the striker.
I didn't know there was a fourth Rashford. I thought there was just three. There's another one now?
I'm telling you, they're multiplying by the day.
Give it another God, make it stop. Make it stop, please.
Give it another couple of seasons, we'll be in the double digits.
Horrible. What do you think of Rashford playing at Barcelona?
Well, truth be told, I haven't had occasion to watch him just yet. I think it is kind of weird, though, to see him in a kit that isn't Manchester United.
Was it not offside?
Apparently not. It's going out for a corner.
I don't know. Seeing Rashford at Barcelona feels wrong. Exactly. So I can't lie. He's been okay. You know, he's been playing off the bench a little bit. He got a half against Levante, and he played about 20 minutes against Mallorca. No goals or anything just yet, but you know, he's been all right. I don't know. Feels weird though.
It's a shame Manchester United aren't in the Champions League, because I would imagine that would be one heck of a revenge match.
I think if they were in the Champions League, they would lose to, I don't know, I think it'd be pathetic. Manchester United, man, they are a club, all right. That's all I could say about them.
They are indeed a soccer club.
No, I don't think they're a soccer club. What they play isn't soccer, man. Barely. I mean, I'm just looking at their last games. Last game they won that wasn't a friendly was oh, you know what? They actually won the last match of the season against Aston Villa. They won that 2-0. So their last one was in the end of May.
Well, good for them, I suppose.
And we are at the tip of September. Yeesh.
Well, the season did just start again, in fairness.
Well, yeah, but they had cup competitions, and there's 2 Premier League games and the cup. I guess that's true. Maybe a bit harsh, but I mean, they lost to the Asian All-Stars in their first preseason friendly.
Well, I mean, when you think about it, it makes sense. They can draw players from across all of Asia. I mean, that's just not fair.
Not really. It's only Southeast Asia. So the countries that aren't even particularly good, like Thailand and Vietnam.
Well, yeah, but Manchester United is only representing Manchester. The Southeastern Asian All-Stars represent a whole bunch of countries. Clearly, that makes a difference.
I guess.
Well, jokes aside, poorly made jokes aside, I should say. Less than 30 minutes to play. Athenai holding on to this 2-0 lead.
Yeah, no, their defense has looked real solid so far. North Shore unable to be too threatening. Anything that even gets close to Satoshi's goal, though, he's been able to smother quite comfortably, I feel like. Sorry. Here comes Andrews, passing it back to Rashford, the umpteenth. Plays to his fellow center back, and he's going to be laid off back to the goalkeeper. Chicken. He clears the ball up, but after a little bouncing around, Banana. Oh, never mind. The possession just turned over again and again. I don't even know why I'm trying to commentate each pass. It just switches too fast.
Well, it does get a little tricky after a while, especially with how fast some of these teams move the ball. It's a sight to behold, it has to be said. Even in the minors, such quick passing.
I agree. The game speed feels very, very quick, very well drilled, very fast players.
It's one of many reasons the SSL is so exciting to watch. It has to be said. Really good players at both the major and minor levels. Some of the best in the sport.
Love my minor leagues. Dare I say more than the major leagues. Maybe I'm biased, but I do love the minor leagues.
Well, they certainly have had some very interesting seasons, especially over the last few campaigns. Always an exciting time, and certainly no lesser than the majors. Meantime, Gaysburg into Brody James, and North Shore have one back with 20 to play.
There's the breakthrough, finally. Good little low cross. Beat his man. Well played. Rashford the third. That was good vision there. From, is it Geisberg? I couldn't really read that too well, but...
Geisberg. To be honest, I'm not sure which is the correct pronunciation, but...
The Volante on the left.
There you go. North Shore have one back. They're looking for a second, though. Running out of time to get it. Less than 5 to play, and it's Athenai with the free kick here.
I don't know if they're going to sit back or if they're going to try and find a third. As I say that, they play back to their goalkeeper, Satoshi, but he was a far way off his line, might I add.
Well, some risky passing there from Athenai nearly cost them, but here they are coming forward. Kluashad puts the cross in. The Chicken able to grab it.
Yeah, well held by Chicken there. Little goalkeeper. I know we were talking about this yesterday, but I would love to see an average team height in the SSL, because I feel like we'd see some very interesting statistics and outliers.
I would think so. I think we should get somebody on that if we haven't already, but I think that would be very fascinating.
That's a nudge article idea for someone to write up. I would love to see it.
If you'd like some bounty TPE, I mean, there you go.
Oh, that reminds me, I got to do my career writings. I've got 1 or 2 that I can do now, I think.
One of the benefits of entering regression is that you no longer have to remember to do career point tasks.
Well, I'm not that old yet. Actually, how many seasons do you go before you start regressing?
I believe at this point it's 8, or 9. I'm not.
Oh my gosh, off the bar, I think.
As I was trying to figure out how numbers work, that shot cannons off the crossbar, or the post rather, which is not the crossbar, but it's connected to it.
They're real similar. If you blur your eyes, they're almost the same thing.
They are quite literally adjacent to one another. In the meantime, here's Gankal, who wins a corner kick for Athenai, and they're absolutely going to try and bleed off as much time as they can. 1 minute of
1
added
minute of
time.
extra time. Yeah. No, but what were we just saying before that? Before we got distracted?
I believe we were talking about how many seasons.
Regression. Yeah.
I believe at this point it would be 9, including the Academy season. But somebody might want to fact check me on that.
So if that's the case, that means it would be players that were made in season 13, 14, something like that? Are the ones that are starting to regress?
I think at this point it would be 14 that started regressing this season.
Okay, so I've still got 6 seasons before I start crapping out.
Well, full time has gone here in Athens, and Athenai FC with a 2-1 win to start the season over North Shore United.
Yeah, that's a well-played game. North Shore, to be commended, though, for that second half attempt. They really fought back. They didn't just give up, but I think they did really well. Unfortunately, though, Rashford III dropping a 6.1 rating. I think he'll be pretty upset about that. But good performances all around, I think.
And it's Roy Rivers who was named player of the match for that opening goal. And then, despite not touching the ball, in my opinion, was instrumental for that second.
No, it's the dummy runs. I wish you could get, like, some metrics for that. Because there are some players that make those runs, drawing defenders out, that make space for other players, and they're so good at it that they're, like, indirect goal contributions. I think Danny Welbeck is actually one player that does that so well in real life. Anyways, real quick, looking back at the games that we've played so far, Montreal and Magyar with a hard-fought 0-0 draw. Neither side. Cairo City beat Inter London at a bottom-of-the-table scrap that actually sends Cairo to the top. And Athenai managed to hold off North Shore to sit second place. And tomorrow we'll have a few more games for you, but in the meantime, that is all. Cairo City lead for the first time in as long as I can remember.
It certainly is a rarity, but one that is not unwelcome in Cairo. Well, we hope you'll join us for the second half of Matchday 1 here in the minor division. But until then, this has been Metafiction and Aegis. Take care.
Take care, guys.